Hello lads and ladies, and welcome to this and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back. The League One season has finally ended. At the start of the season we predicted our League One table. Now some I predicted, fairly decent, got a few right, a few in the right ball area, but a few, wow, not very good. We've done one in January, we did one, for the playoffs, for the relegation about 6 to 8 weeks ago. But the one that really matters is the one that we filmed back in July. It's May now, and we're going to have a little look at it and react. But if you are a League One supporter or follow a club that have been in League One this year, I'll still be covering the teams that went up and down next year on my League One streams. So if you want a lot of League One content coming to your screens, subscribe down below, hit notifications, like this video, and we'll continue to do so. Again, the support this season has been phenomenal. Let's get on with the video and let's have a look where we predicted each team. So in 24th place, we predicted Forest Green Rovers. Get in there. We got one correct. Can only go downhill since then. And believe me, it did. Forest Green Rovers had an awful season. They weren't really, even in the summer window, they weren't really, investing as much as they probably should have done. They lost the manager, and that for me was, the big part in way of putting them at the bottom of the table. And I just kind of thought, I just can't see them competing, and they didn't really compete. They were dreadful. They didn't start off too badly, to be fair, but even since January, I think they only got one win, so not great. But again, we got it correct. 23rd, staying around that area of the country, we went with Charlton. They finished 16th. Now, I just thought losing the manager, losing Boyle, losing Callum Wright, who I know was only on loan, but when you have a player like this quality, like you did for 18 months, I thought they'd struggle. In fairness, they had a pretty good, solid season. Probably dipped a bit from last year, but to still stay up in League One, that's all that matters. 22nd, we went with Cambridge. Now, they were there for about 43 to 44 games of the season. They just got out of it at the last minute, and they did really well. There really was a great escape. They had 30 points from the first 35, 36 games, and the last, 9, 10 games, he picked up 16 points. So again, a really good turnaround. We were in the right area, but when it comes to relegation and staying up, the two places that I predicted them kind of go out the window. 21st, we went with Exeter. Now, they finished 14th and a similar kind of gap to what we predicted Cheltenham. 7 places, it was a huge difference. They never looked like finishing 21st. 14th kind of, was a bit low for them because they kind of went on an awful run at the end of the season. So, again, a good first season in League One. It's now about building that block. But again, not a bad season. Prediction-wise, not great. At 20th, we went with Morecambe. They finished 22nd. Now, again, similar area that we thought. Predicting Morecambe around that area isn't always going to be, how's he pulled that out? How's he predicted that correct? We always knew they'd be in the bottom 6, the bottom 8, unless, Derek Adams worked wonders. And to be fair, they could have finished 20th on the last day of the season, but unfortunately, they didn't do so. It was close. Not a bad prediction, but not a good one. Now, Port Vale, I predicted them to finish 19th. They finished 18th, which I don't think is a bad prediction. Look, they got a bad run towards the end, but it's still, a season prediction. And, only one place out. There's a couple like this that I predicted, quite near to each other. So, not a bad prediction. 18th, I predicted the Cos. We finished 13th. A decent, solid season under Scott Brown. We improved in January. If I don't think we got the players we did in January, I think we would have been around this area. To bring Jack Marriott, Jaden Stockley, Phoenix Patterson all into the football club kind of changed our whole front three. So again, not a great prediction, but, not one of the worst, believe me. 17th, we went with Accrington Stanley, the club that don't get relegated, I said. Well, they got relegated this year, 6 places off of where they actually finished in 23rd. Not a great prediction, but we live and learn, don't we? We live and learn. At 16th, we put Burton Albion, who again finished 15th, 1 place above. But again, when it comes to kind of these mid-table places, they can finish anywhere. So I think that's a good a good kind of table prediction. Burton had a phenomenal second half of the season. Dino Mamria has done a very good job there. He's a superb manager, and he's got a history of improving teams wherever he's ended up. 15th, we put the Imps, Lincoln City, who finished 11th, 4 places above in the top half, who finished above Fleetwood. I can see Jake smiling as it is, but again, unfortunately, well off there, really. A 15th to 11th is a totally different story. Kind of 11th kind of hints that you've had a go at the top 6, which they have done really when they played them, but not really had a go to finish in the top 6. But way better than a 15th place side in my eyes. Shrewsbury, we predicted 14th, had a very good season, had a good run in there. They won 6 in a row, and they finished 12th. Top 12, not the best of predictions, 2 places in it. I had a higher mid kind of bottom half, and they finished top half. So again, a couple of places out, not a bad one, but it's good when you look at the ones I've got next, believe me. Bristol Rovers 13th to 17th, similar story to Lincoln, just the opposite way round. A good season for the Gas. Next year they've got to improve, in my opinion, to push on, like Joey Barton mentioned. 12th, Plymouth Argyle. Yeah, I predicted the League One champions that got 101 points, only dropped 37 points all season, 61 out of 69 points at home, 40 out of 69 points away, were an absolute breath of fresh air, kept 18 clean sheets, and now a championship club to finish just inside the top half, who won the league. That is awful. Very, very bad. The worst prediction in here, probably. And when I'm saying probably, that knows you've got another sinker coming up. Wow. Well done to Argyle. Been phenomenal. And yeah, just, I take my hats off to you. 11th, Charlton. They finished 10th. Again, not a bad prediction. It was in the right area. They were kind of there all season. So I'll take that. 10th, MK Dons. They finished in the bottom 4. They got relegated. I thought they'd challenge for the playoffs. I thought they'd kind of have a drop-off. Well, they had a drop-off from kind of game week 1 to game week 46, really. So, other than that prediction is all right. 9th, we went with Portsmouth. They finished 8th. And in 8th, we went with Wycombe, who finished 9th. So basically, I got Wycombe and Portsmouth the wrong way round. But I think they are good predictions. Again, we're both outside the playoffs. We're both challenging for the playoffs, like we mentioned. But again, another year goes on for Portsmouth. That's a bad season. For Wycombe, a lot of uncertainty in the middle part of the season where Guy Famous left the football club. But again, I'll take those predictions. Not too bad. In 7th, we went for Oxford, who finished 19th. We thought an Oxford side would be just missing out on the playoffs. They just missed out on relegation. So, good. 6th, we went for Peterborough, who finished 6th. Get in there. I'm a League One expert when it comes to 3 out of 24 predictions. Look, I'm good for 3 out of 24. I'll take that. Just forget the other 21. But Peterborough finished just inside the playoffs on the last day of the season as well. They snuck in. 5th, Bolton Wanderers. Not being funny, but I am literally Einstein. I can read League One's minds. Let's be honest with you. Bolton Wanderers finished 5th. I got the amount of abuse I got for putting Bolton in the playoffs. Only Bolton fans were agreeing with me. Of course they would. But Ian Evans did a smashing job there. They were comfortably inside the playoffs as well. They were settled there in and around there all season. So a really good season for them. I'll take it all day. 4th, Derby County. I put them 4th. They missed out on the playoffs on the last day of the season. They were never really going to challenge for 4th from the last 10, 15 games of the season, just because how good the top 4 were. But again, not a great prediction. 3rd, Ipswich. Now, you'd think these predictions would get closer, to where they actually, finished. But in March, literally 8 weeks ago, I put Ipswich 4th and was still close at the start of the season. There was, with 8 games to go. Ipswich won promotion in great style. They finished 2nd. And, 1 place off wouldn't be normally, bad. I've been happy with that. But this one, to finish inside the playoffs to automatic promotion, there's a huge difference. Second, Barnsley, they finished 4th. They had a go for top 2. That defeat to Ipswich a couple of weeks ago kind of hindered them. But again, not a bad prediction, but again, one of those that were close. And first, I went for Wednesday to win the league. I think I've gone for Wednesday to win the league the last 2 years, and they've, finished 3rd and 4th. So, 2 places out. They finished top of the playoffs, still top. So, I take that as a successful prediction. So, there are my table predictions. What were yours? What were your howlers? I think mine were MK Dons, Oxford and Plymouth. Good ones included Port Vale, Peterborough, Bolton, Forest Green, Burton, Charlton, WYCOMBE, Portsmouth. So, there's some good ones. This year, I think I've actually done quite well on my table predictions. I'm not going to get them all right, believe it or not. I think everyone takes it literally when someone does a table prediction that's what's going to happen. But again, not a bad one, but there's improvement to be made. And well done to those who went up, and well done to those that went down. If you are a League One, fan of all the League One content, subscribe down below as well. Get liking. Again, we're on a journey and to 11,000 subscribers. Again, please help us get there as well. Thanks very much for your support this season. Still so much League One content coming your way. Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Up the Sky Bet League One.